After this move c5, as expected, g3 takes. We know that Levon really enjoys the white sides of Catalan/ready, where he fianchettos his bishop on the long diagonal. Oops, there we go. Queen b6. Don't we tell all of our students, don't develop your queen early in the opening, bring out your pieces first. Queen b6, very off, a move that's well off the beaten path. Bishop g2, what is your queen doing on b6, asked Levon. Well, here's my answer. Bishop c5, attacking the knight. Knight cannot move, because there's a pawn on f2 that would be hanging with check. The knight is going to be forced to be defended either by e2, not a move that you really want to play, this bishop will be blocked in, or the move c2, c3. Again, same thing, not a move you really want to play. You're robbing the knight of its best square, and at the same time, usually white would like to see his pawn on c4. However, there's got to be some drawbacks to the queen and bishop developing themselves so early here, Jennifer. Would you have anticipated anything like what we've got on the board? This is very surprising to my eyes.
Yeah, for sure. But, Magnus has surprised us time and time again, especially in the openings. Don't forget F4 against the piano.
The bird opening.
Do you think we're going to see that again sometime from Magnus?
Not, well, he has it in his repertoire, so not that extremely unusual. But still, this, on the other hand, the queen on b6, the bishop on c5, it does look strange to me.
It looks like a Sicilian type treatment, but there the pawn's on e4 and have more pressure against f2, and the bishop on g2 would be blended.
Yeah, we could very well transpose into something that has a very distinct Sicilian flavor. Imagine the move e2, e3, and let's just play another move. Now imagine the knight comes back to try to take advantage of the bishop's position. Let's say the bishop were to draw back. Now we play the move e3, e4. We bring our knight to c3, our bishop to e3, and a lot of people would say, oh, a Sicilian. And they saw the position for the first time. Now, having said this, I think e2, e3 is a good way to go, just to get that particular setup. Now, let's just go back to our key game.
Early in this line, bishop d2, bishop to c5, e3, and d5 was played. Now, yesterday in the interview, Aronian said, I like to try to win with white. It doesn't matter who I play against. It doesn't matter if it's Magnus or anyone. And it would be nice if it's a contentious game. Well, moves like queen b6 and bishop c5, Aronian is a principled player. He believes in chess being right, and he should be the one to punish you if you don't do the right things. And this bishop coming to c5 early made him say, okay, let's get the party started. Queen g4, you can bring your queen out early, so can I. And now queen g4 hitting the pawn, with the bishop already gone out, this pawn is under attack. Bishop f8 looks strange. King f8 looks strange. g6, weakening some dark squares. Already this is in virgin territory. This one will be a dynamic battle, as Aronian has already defeated Magnus twice this year in classical chess. Will he make it a third, or will Magnus come back with a big win?
We're seeing Nepo claim a draw by repetition here, and poor Maxime, this is ending his bid.
Very, very hard to make any prediction of the moves. Literally starting from move 2 onwards has been going on between Levon and Magnus. Both of those players seem to be in some kind of creative mode. After the move e6, e5, booting the knight out of the center, Levon thought that his best chances were to give a check, forcing the trade of queens, doubling up these pawns on b6 and b7. In general, this isn't a bad deal for black, because he does get his rook developed without having moved. On the other hand, the b5 square is permanently weak. In the game continuation, knight b3, knight c6, bishop d2, we can see, for example, let me just put a move on the board.
Bishop d6 was played.
Bishop d6, okay. About the potential of the b5 square being a good home for white, the pawn on d5 being attacked, you really really don't want to advance either of the center pawns. You would like to keep them abreast. Say bishop e6 and the knight can jump to b5. So Grunfeld players will appreciate this outpost. Not that it's necessarily giving white an advantage, but we can understand that it's actually a full-fledged fight.
Absolutely, and I think what Black is trying to do with this move, bishop to d6, this last move, is to meet the move knight to c3 with e4 and create an extra square for the bishop on e5.
Okay.
But then again, knight b5 comes on the board, bishop to e5, and then we can play as white against the weakness, the newly created weakness on d4. That square is such a nice square for my pieces. So potentially, I'm going to try to exchange the bishops first. That's what I would do, at least bishop to c3. Try to eliminate the dark square bishop for Black and leave him with, let's say, a passive bishop on d7 because of the newly created pawn chain on d5 and e4. Nevertheless, yes, this is going to be a struggle for both players. Black has the space advantage,
thanks to a center.
sort of space advantage. It is difficult to call it that because the pawn on e4 is not really creating any dynamics in the position, and it can always be hooked with a move such as f3. But I do kind of prefer White's strategical chances in this game because of that weakness on d4 and the pawn on d5.
Spoken like a true Grunfeld player, I must say. Jennifer, we have a phone call from San Diego.
Welcome to the
e6, knight c3, completing our development, going after this pawn on d5. Magnus wanted to keep the two pawns, the central pawn duo abreast on d5 and e5. He didn't go for the e5, e4 move, Christian, that you were suggesting. Instead, he dropped back with his knight, defending the pawn, and then we see this move a2, a4. I mentioned that the b5 square was the weak square in Black's camp, and after Castle's knight b5, we are up to date with the position with Magnus Carlsen on move.
It starts to feel like a two-way, two-result game. Only a win for White or a draw.
It does feel that things are going nicely for the moment in Levon's direction. One problem is, what do we want to do with this bishop?
Right. I mean, trying to preserve both bishops with bishop e8. Bishop isn't. It would look like bishop e4 is kind of nasty, but maybe you can just play.
Rook to e8.
Maybe you can just chill with rook e8. Yeah.
And now the question is, after knight to d6, are you going to give me the bishop pair? Probably yes, because
b7 is hanging.
Oh, we have a different move.
Pardon me?
Magnus renounced his bishop pair with the move bishop takes b5.
There we have it. Bishop takes b5.
That's a bit surprising.
a4 takes b5. And now this bishop
But you had to
g2.
renounce it anyway after that knight d6 move. You just thought that was a better incarnation
Yes, because I also think maybe the pawn on e4 would have been under attack. Maybe after bishop takes d6, knight f5 first to defend the pawn on e5, and then just capture the pawn on, or maybe even knight c8 to defend also the bishop on on
the
b6.
knight on the b6, yeah.
The pawn on b6, yes.
It looks a bit passive, and I still feel like White definitely, even in this situation, has plenty of compensation for the last pawn on a4, but
something like bishop c7, rook takes a4.
Rook takes a4, then maybe rook takes a4, take, and rook a1 or rook d1 to pressure the pawn on d5. White definitely should have enough compensation for equality.
All right. But bishop takes b5 was Magnus's choice.
And rook to c8.
Oh, excuse me. Bishop takes b5, a takes b5, and which rook went to
rook
c8?
a to c8.
Wow, voluntarily giving up the open a file. I didn't expect that. Well, bishop to c3.
Absolutely no. I mean, I like White. Knight e4, I would assume, is the world champion's idea. Force the bishop trade on e4, and then prepare to move knight to d5. But rook fd1 seems to come
Sure, right.
knight to d2. Yeah.
And on a very good day, by the way, I might be able to provoke f7, f5, maneuver the knight back to d2 to c4, well, it would be very powerfully positioned.
Oh, if I manage to put the knight on c4 and solidify it with the pawn on b3.
Yeah,
Oh,
dream.
Man, that knight on c4 is such a nice piece.
You remember the chess informant days, Christian, where they had the symbols.
Yes.
So you would have a circle, Zugzwang, and the square for the center, things like that. The American junior players wanted a pillow, and that would mean
As a symbol.
yes, a symbol for dream position. What you were just describing with the knight on the c4 would create a pillow, and that would signify dream position for white. So Magnus having to avoid falling into a dream position, bishop c3, and also on tap that, rook a7 might provoke something as simple as rook c7, but it definitely feels like if anybody has energy in the position, or rather an advantage, I will also take black.
No, of
take
course.
white in the two bishops.
Of course, and I'm simply going